Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where we talk about all the things that you should have learned but you didn't because you were either too busy mopping bathroom floors or I don't know, saving the country out on the front lines or something. What is up? My name is Joseph, and in today's video I'm going to talk about the basics of credit, why it's good, and why you need good credit even if you're just a 17-year-old private like I was who doesn't think they need to focus on adulting just yet. Because if you want to buy a house later down the line, get an apartment, or even better, get that Mustang or Camaro at lower than a 16% interest rate, you'll need good credit. If you want to move out of your parents' house and live on your own at 19 like I did, then first of all, good on you for clicking on this video. If you plan on being that one military veteran that wants to get a muscle car straight out of boot camp at a ridiculous interest rate that's draining your money faster than the baby on the way, and it's not even yours, it's Jody's. And if that's you, then you can go ahead and click out of this video. Now, before you about face, just take a look at my credit score, alright? This isn't to brag, alright? I just want to show you guys that it is possible. My is excellent, alright? And your credit score could be excellent too, as long as you do the right things. Now get this, and now I'm gonna brag a little bit, but my credit score used to be even higher back then. I think I had like an 810 or 820 last year when I was like 19. It's totally possible, and I'll show you guys how you can do it too. Before we get started, I'm not a financial expert. I've made a lot of mistakes in the past when I first started out with credit. This video is so that you guys don't have to go through the same mistakes that I've made before. So there are 6 factors that play a role in your credit score. Number 1 is payment history. This is what your banks look at, it's what your lenders look at, it's what everyone looks at. It's basically, did you pay your bills on time? If you didn't pay it off when it was due that one time when you were 18 and you signed up for a credit card because it was your birthday and you got bored and you bought something and forgot about it, it'll show up on your credit score. Forever. I was just kidding about that forever part. There's actually a couple different ways that you can remove a missed payment from your file, but I wasn't kidding about it actually showing up on your report and damaging your score. So yeah, you definitely don't want to do that. Now, this is something that you guys can easily avoid, and trust me guys, you don't want to miss a payment because payment history is actually the most influential factor in determining your credit score, which is 35%. To prevent this from damaging your credit, just don't buy something on your credit card that you can't afford. Simple as that, alright? Now, you can also set up automatic payments on debt, but I personally recommend that you take a look at your bank account often so that you can see if anything fishy is going on, you know what I mean? Like, I've gotten my credit card information stolen more than once now. It was like in the middle of the night or something, so, you know, it's very important that you check your account often so you can report fraud or, you know, anything that's fishy that's going on as soon as it happens. Alright, now moving on to number 2, we have age of credit, which makes up about 15% of your entire score. This means that the longer you've had a credit card open for, the better it will be for your score, which is why you never want to cancel a credit card, alright? The reason why this matters is because if lenders see that you've consistently paid off any credit card purchases on time for, I don't know, let's say 10 years, right? Chances are you're gonna keep paying it off on time. This is why you don't want to wait to get a card, because if you get one as soon as you join and you get the military star card like I did, you'll be in a better spot in a couple of years compared to someone who doesn't have any credit yet. Now, I want to reiterate that none of this matters if you don't manage your money properly. So if you go on Libo and you spend that hard-earned money that you got from, you know, carrying a tow bar across the motor pool on, you know, beer, and you can't pay off your credit card, it won't matter if you have 10, 20, even 30 years of credit history. All it takes is one missed payment for, you know, lenders and banks to pretty much see you as a bag. So just don't buy a bunch of trash, which actually brings me to my next topic, which is credit utilization. So in addition to paying your bills on time and getting a head start on your credit, you'll also want to make sure that you're not overspending. Now, what this means is that you should not spend more than a certain amount of your credit limit per month, because the banks will see this as a sign that, you know, you're probably down bad, or you're on the run, or some type of emergency that you got to use up all of your credit. This is also a sign that your chances of paying back your loan decrease as you get a higher credit limit. Let's say Lance Corporal Wagner has over $1,000 worth of debt. Now, what do you think the chances are that he's going to be able to pay that back on time? You know what I mean? Like, so how much should you spend? It depends. The golden rule is 30% or 10% if you want to stay safe of your total credit limit. I'll say that again. You want to spend 30% or less of your total credit limit per month. Anything over that is pretty much a red flag to the banks, and your score is probably going to go down. So now let's go over some examples. All right, let's do some math for Marines, shall we? So let's say you have one credit card that gives you a credit limit of $1,000. 30% of that is $300. So don't spend more than $300 every month, right? Let's say you have 3 credit cards this time. One card gives you $1,000, the second card gives you $5,000, and the third one gives you a credit limit of $10,000. Now if you add all that up, you get $16,000, which allows you to spend up to $4,800 per month, which is honestly way more than any military member needs. I mean, let's be honest, unless you're spending that on a copious amount of alcohol to drown your PTSD from boot camp, then I mean, there's really no reason why you would ever need to spend over $4,000 a month, I'll just put it at that, like, how about a little discipline, you know what I mean? All right, number 4. Total accounts. This basically has to do with the number of credit card accounts that you have, which tells lenders and banks whether or not you can be trusted with their credit. If multiple banks and lenders let you borrow their money, that means they trust you. So if you apply for a credit card at a new bank, chances are they'll see that you can be trusted because of all the other people that bank with you. So to put it simply, the more credit cards you have, the better. Now, what you don't want to do is just go and apply for 6, 7 different credit cards as soon as you turn 18, because that's actually going to hurt your credit score. If the banks see that you applied for that many, they're gonna assume that you're struggling financially, which is the reason why you want help from like 6 to 7 different credit cards at the same time. The golden rule is to wait 6 months before applying for a new credit card. So mark your calendars and strategically plan out which cards you're gonna want to get every time that you can apply for one safely. This brings me to number 5, which is credit inquiries. This one is basically a count of all the hard credit inquiries that are on your credit report. So there are 2 different types of credit inquiries: hard ones and soft ones. In the game of credit, you want the soft one, surprisingly. A hard inquiry is when a lender or bank gets your credit report so they can see everything that's on your file when you apply for like a credit card, a loan, a mortgage, big things like that. This is why you want to wait that 6 months, because after you apply for a credit card or a car loan or a mortgage, you're going to see a slight decrease in your score, because the banks want to see if you can handle it first, since you're adding new credit that can cause you to overspend. But again, if you stay under that 30%, right, and you pay it back on time all the time, you'll be solid. A soft inquiry is when you or someone else is going into your credit report to see your score. This usually happens when you're trying to get pre-approved for a credit card, or when a landlord wants to see if you can qualify to rent there, situations where people have to look at your credit score. The good thing about soft inquiries is that they don't affect your credit score. Hard inquiries, on the other hand, do affect your credit score and can last up to 2 years. But most of the time they go away after like a month or so, as long as you don't do anything bad, so keep paying your bills on time and stay under 30% of your credit utilization and you should be fine. All right, last one is derogatory marks. These are, basically NJPs, to put them in a way for all my military people to understand, or a 6105, because they show up on your record if you've ever messed up before in the past. And no, this isn't that one time that you sold a can of dip in MCT or whatever and then they caught you. All right, this has to do with credit. So if you've ever gotten your debt sent to collections, or you filed for bankruptcy, or you missed a payment or something like that, you're gonna want to do everything in your power to keep these derogatory marks from happening, because if you do get one, it's most likely going to be very difficult to remove. No matter what, these negative marks will likely stay on your credit report for 7 years or more. So if you have derogatory marks that decrease your credit score by a good amount, good luck getting the best rates on anything pretty much for the next couple of years. But it's all good, because now that you watch this video, you know what to do and what not to do, so you're not going to get any derogatory marks. And if you do, then you can't blame me either, because this isn't financial advice, right? So yeah, that was the 6 things that affect your credit score, and I hope you learned something. And if you're still confused, just leave a comment down below and we can all learn together. All right, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.